So I think a lot of times guys have got to understand that, if you look on anybody's, roster, there's going to be 3 or 4 guys that are going to probably take about 70% of the shots, during the course of a game or season. I think guys figuring out how they can impact the group. A lot of times it may not be the best 400 players in the world, but a lot of times it's how well guys fit around the best players. That's, to me, what made Nick Collison so great here is he wasn't an elite scorer in the NBA like he was in college, but boy, did he impact winning, and boy, did he impact the group, because he took charges. He was really disciplined on defense. You knew when you put him in the game, he was going to be on point. He could follow scouting reports. He could really pay attention. He could handle adjustments and timeouts. And he was an opportunistic scorer. The same thing with Haslam. Those guys impacted winning. But, for Haslam, when he was with Dwayne Wade and he was with LeBron James and he was with Chris Bosh, it wasn't his job to score. It was his job to do his job. And a lot of that job was a lot of the dirty work. The same thing, I think, for Nick Collison, playing with Serge Ibaka and Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook and James Harden, wasn't his job to score. He had to reinvent himself. He was a great scorer, but he wasn't going to be a scorer in the NBA. I don't know if you can find this, Lee, but I'd recommend to everybody, I forget what it was. Nick Collison, I actually read it to my team at Florida. He ended up writing like a newsletter about the experience of going from college to the NBA, and about how a lot of sometimes young players think they're just going to go in the NBA and they're going to be like one of those 3 or 4 guys that are going to really, teams are going to run their offense through those players. And, it was really eye-opening reading the article, because that's exactly what it is. It's how well do players fit in. And I've been very blessed and fortunate here in Oklahoma. I mean, I've coached some unbelievable players. And sometimes when these guys watch these guys on TV, I don't think they realize how good these guys are and how special they are as a player. And I would throw Nick Collison in there too. He was extremely special. He may have not had the offensive ability or talent of a Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook or Chris Paul or James Harden, but I'll tell you what, he really was elite and special in his role and what he had to do. And he did his job at a really, really high level. And I think guys have to understand, when they're coming from college, this is a job. And whatever their job is going to be defined. And a lot of times guys want to fight what their job is. They want their job to be something else. And a lot of times up here at this level, there's a lot of things guys get asked to do that, are a little bit different, a little bit more challenging. And maybe it's something that they weren't and didn't do most of their career. And I think that could be a huge adjustment for players.